Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle Desrochers and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Outer Realm on Wednesday night. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network, UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 from New Orleans. We are fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee, who have been a part of our journey since the very beginning. So thank you, Folgers. We couldn't do it without you, nor would we want to. Also, big thank you to Justin Snicker, a.k.a. Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for the contribution of his music, his time, and his voice for the intro you just heard. He's an award-winning composer of Halloween, horror, sci-fi, and darkwave electronic music, which can be found on all of your favorite music platforms. Also, big thank you to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind the banners and logos here at the show. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Also specializes in the horror genre, but does fabulous commission pieces. So tonight we welcome for the very first time Les Durrant. And Les lives in Mineral Bluff, Georgia, near the Blue Ridge. He's an accomplished ghost and UFO hunter. In 2021, he discovered a method to record UFOs and has well over 40 recordings. In order to participate tonight, you guys are going to have to get into one of the 7 chat rooms. You know the drill, right? Superhighway coming down into one lane. So we'll sort of keep up as we go along. Amelia is not with us tonight. She was not able to make it. So hopefully she'll be back tomorrow night. That would be awesome. And hold on. Boss is messaging. Knows better. Anyway, so we'll see her tomorrow night with our Crystal Skull talk. So, but tonight, I don't know. I think we've all had, for the most part, I think most of our listeners have had some sort of, paranormal or UFO experiences. I know for one, I am like fully loaded on all counts with that. But I did have the pleasure of, growing up north and being able to see all kinds of phenomenal things in the night skies. So it's always kind of interesting to see, what Les is going to talk to us about, because it goes to show you don't always have to be looking at the night skies. No, that's right. Hello, Wayne. Hello, Dolly. God, I always want to break out in song when I see you on here. Hey, Z-Sun, how's it going? So again, guys, we're on 7 different platforms. We do have a chat room everywhere. And aside from Roku, there is no chat there. So hello. Hello, Les. So please be patient because we keep up with the guest, and I will flash comments as much as possible. And if you have questions for Les, then just pile it on and we'll go from there. So without further ado, our special guest. Hello.
How are you?
Good, darling. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Very fabulous tonight.
Fabulous. I love fabulous.
doing great. Yeah.
Good.
Just here in Georgia, and it's a clear night. And of course, when it's clear night, we're always celebrating.
Right. I have friends out in Georgia. Dolly actually is from Georgia.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So you have someone from your neck of the woods out there, and it's been sort of all over the place for you guys weather-wise, hasn't it been lately?
Yeah, it has. It's been pretty cold, and then it'll kind of dry up a little bit. But fortunately, it's been in the 50s just recently, and so I'm just really excited because it'll start to warm up, and to the point where we may even just spend the night out there a couple nights.
Oh,
Yeah, so that'd be great.
not worried about Bigfoot sharing space with you?
Oh, well, we would love to, because he's always sharing space with us on the mountain, just down the mountain from us. So it's all
Right.
right. Yep.
Right.
And so we don't mind. And of course, I'm surrounded by trees. Every wall around here has trees around it. So it's all
Right.
right. Nothing wrong with that. Right.
Right.
But
I love that. I
yeah.
love that. I was telling you earlier that I grew up up north with a
Mhm.
lot of this, surrounded by mountains and a valley, and seeing
Yeah.
UFOs was not out of the question.
Right.
Um, so I was fortunate with that, and of course you move closer to the city, and you just don't.
Mhm.
It's not easier to see the night sky anymore, and it's not. You got all the lights shining up and it's not real
Right.
clear. And there's so many satellites in the sky right now. That
Right.
makes it tough too in the night sky,
Does.
especially.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure does. And so with that, I tell people, even if you can get maybe a square foot of sky, just your own little square foot, maybe you live in a concrete jungle, but you can see a couple of square feet of sky, right? At least that's your sky,
Right.
right? So if something comes in the middle of your sky, then you know that it's something that you need to research.
Right.
So I tell people the best thing to do is get yourself a Flight Radar 24, right on here, Flight Radar 24. And what you do is you pull that up, and then you can pull up the plane and see if there's anything out there. And really, the only thing that's even anywhere near me is looks like Florence, which is not Florence, Italy. I'm sure it's somewhere in Florida. Just to Smyrna. Okay, just a
Right.
little teeny tiny thing. But at least it tells me where they're going, where they're at. Okay.
Mhm.
So if there's something that appears in my sky that shouldn't be there, say, hey, there shouldn't be a plane there.
Yeah,
Or
you're
there
not
is,
supposed to be there. Right.
exactly. So um, that's one of the tools that you can have. So even if you just look up there a few times during the day and just say, hey, how you doing, and can you
Right.
fly by?
Sort of like a CE5 sort of thing. Well, what I want to
That's
do first is
what we do. Yeah.
I want to
Mhm.
back up a bit because
All right.
I want to get your story. I want to find out what made you decide to start doing this. Like, I know that you're involved in the paranormal. And so to me, it isn't out of the question that you would turn to UFOs and actually and ET, things like that, because I really do believe they go hand in hand.
They do.
So
Yeah.
did you have an experience growing up? Like, what drew you to the whole high strangeness field?
Here's the crazy thing is that, and of course it's not crazy as we know, but I was working at this radio station, and I recently had lost my wife of 23 years, and
Oh, sorry.
thank you, and she died of complications with diabetes. And
Oh,
so I had prayed to meet somebody who I had something in common with. And sure enough, I reconnected with my friend from the island of Guam that we used to know when we were kids. Her name's Claudette. That's my wife now. So this kind of
oh,
fast forward, yeah.
yes.
And but I had once again I had prayed to meet somebody that I had something in common with. But she came
Yeah.
down, and she uh I had told her that I was seeing these shadow figures at the radio station, and I thought it could have been my wife looking in on me just to make sure everything was okay.
Mm,
Well, in the meantime, my wife now Claudette came down from Idaho, and she was going through divorce, and her husband had the same problems that my wife had passed away from. So see how those things kind of go together. But
right.
so she said, and I said, well, she said, I'm a ghost hunter. I said, well, how do you do that? She said, well, this is what I do. I just take my phone and get it out and just record, ask it questions. You turn on the audio recorder and just ask
Mhm.
questions and you play it back.
Right.
And I said, all right, what's that all about? And she said, yeah, sometimes you can hear the spirits on there. And I was like, all right. So sure enough, we took it home and played it back, and we got some great stuff. And my wife's name was Shauna, and we said, Shauna, are you there? She said, yep. Just like that on
Ah,
both of our phones,
right.
which is really crazy.
Right.
um and then we moved up to Arkansas, and to kind of get away from Texas a little bit in the crazy rent and everything. And so we were up there, and then the pandemic hit, and we started kind of watching a lot of ghost shows and different stuff like that, and even UFO shows a little bit too. But we didn't kind of put them
Well, you're
to
homebound, right? So you don't have a lot to do.
right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
now my wife is a caregiver, so she was able to get out, and and I was able to go with her and everything. But so we came down here and we went to a haunted house, and we decided to get some equipment. So we started off with a spirit box. We got a little spirit box
Right.
radio, which is
Right.
kind of cool. Love it. And then I got a K2 meter and love it too.
Right.
This is standby. Everybody's got one of these.
EMF detector for those who
That's
don't
right.
know.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. And love it. And then kind of stepped up my game a little bit and got me a tri-field meter. And let's see, it's right here. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Ah, there we go. The trusty tri-field meter, indeed.
Love my tri-field meter. Oh my gosh, this
Yeah.
is one of my better toys.
Right.
And then got me a REM pod too, so which I love.
Right.
But so we came down and tried everything out and started getting the orbs and everything and loved it. And so I had kind of prayed to meet or see something that I hadn't seen before that I wanted
Right.
to see. So I went back to Arkansas, and we'd come down here to Georgia to the haunted house and went back to Arkansas. And then I took a camera and just and basically it's just an old cell phone, and I put it on a little mount like this and just
Okay.
aimed it up to the sky, right?
Right.
And then just let it record. And then
So
when I
why cell phones? Like, is this a cell phone that you have in use or just an old cell phone that got a good
just
camera?
just old. I've got like here's one. I've got like
Right.
about okay. Here's another one.
So
Why?
why
Because
cell phones instead of cameras?
because these while they're nice, they're a couple $100 each, whatever, and
Right.
that's we don't all have that kind of money, but
Right.
most people have one or two of these cell phones lying around.
Well, because you upgrade, right? So you just
Right,
have them kicking
exactly,
about.
yes, and
Got it.
so
Okay.
I will tell
Okay.
you that, so with myself with, 3 of my cell phones, I got 3 MUFON unknowns with them,
Wow. Well,
and
you
it's cool because if you can at least record, getting geeky on you right now, but if you can go 1920 by 1080p, if you could do something like that, which is just a standard resolution,
right.
that's fine. You can run that through your computer and you get just as good as resolution as just a regular everyday camera.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah,
Cell
right.
phones are like mini computers, right? I mean, they have
They
everything.
are, yeah, and this is a Samsung S22. This guy, I can record 120 frames per minute, plus I can record color at night with it, and so
Right.
I get a lot of good UFOs. This is really my main UFO baby right now. But
Okay.
like I told you before we went on the air, that I do have a secret regarding this one.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I will tell you about that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and the thing about these phones is you can also use them for ghost hunting. You can use them for as long as you can get online to Google Play or to the App Store.
Mhm.
Even an old iPhone 5 will record 60 frames a second, which is
Mhm.
beautiful. That's
Right.
very nice. And you just
Right.
put that on a little like see all of these have Velcro in the back. So what you
Okay.
do, yeah, I've got these on a like a door hinge or something like that, and I can just aim it up to the sky, turn it
That's
on,
actually brilliant.
yeah, and just let it record.
The
Yeah,
door hinge idea. That's pretty cool.
yeah. And so I do that, and then and I've got a few different ones that I use. So I've got 2 or 3 of them hanging around here all the time,
Right.
and it's one of those things where I use what I have.
Right.
If I've got 2 or 3 cell phones laying around, hey,
Mhm.
that's what I'm going to use for now because that's what I've got. Uh, Anybody happen to have an old Windows 7 computer? Maybe?
Not if we can help it.
Right? Well, if you don't want it, guess what? I do because you know what? If you can get your iPhone, if you can get your phone, if your phone wire into your Windows 7 computer, guess what? You're looking for UFOs.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
right.
they're handy. The older technology what you're saying is actually much better for these sort
Well,
of captures.
cheaper. Yeah, it's just
Cheaper.
cheaper. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
now if you want to move up, you can do this. Well, if this camera reached, I can show you my gamer computer that I'm now paying $200 a month for.
right.
Just so I can look at some really good video. I mean,
Well,
um,
you need the graphics, right? Like,
I need the graphics to be able to produce
right.
the best quality video from the video that I get. So
Right.
from this phone, I can get I can do 4K. I can even do up to 8K. So
Right.
like you're looking at
That's
some
pretty
very
good.
nice quality
Well, it's
pictures.
newer technology for sure.
Mhm.
You
And,
know.
and people will see my stuff and they'll say, "Oh, you're a digital creator." No, I'm not a creator. I'm a guy who makes things better. So what I
Right.
do is like I will shine it up for you and I will try to do all kinds of filters. But
Mhm.
another thing that I also like to do is to share my work. So if anybody ever wants to download, I've got a really nice Photoshop video, or it's not a video, it's actually a picture that I've laid filters over the top of to try to bring it out.
Okay.
And that's something that I would have known to know how to do years ago, but I don't know how to do that anymore. So,
Mhm.
and I can even show you an idea of some of these things too that I do.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm looking for people who are good with graphics. If I say, "Hey, can you make this, take the blur out of this for me?"
Mhm.
Yeah, do this. Let's see what we can do. Hey, that's great.
Well, hopefully, maybe you'll hear someone tonight. I've got a quick question or comment for you.
yes.
I've heard you can take the red and blue lenses from a 3D glasses, tape them over a cell phone lens so no light comes in the sides, and you can pick up some of these interesting
Ooh,
UFO, UAP that our eyes do not see.
interesting. All right. I do like that. That's a very
Yeah.
good idea.
You heard
I
the
will
trick from
tell
Courtney
you,
Brown on the Far Side Institute.
thank you. Yes, and I really like that idea. And in fact, hold on just a sec. You'll find me on a little
And
ADHD.
just so you all know, there's a video that we're going to be able to show of one of Les's captures as well.
Okay, here we go. Here's what I was looking for right here. All right. So I think sort of what he's talking about would be this. This right here is what they call a full spectrum color camera.
I've got one, yes.
Yes. So full spectrum. I get very beautiful stuff with this as well.
Yes, because
Um,
it's got that pinky purpley
yes.
hue to it.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. So yeah, so I use that, and I'm one of these nights where it gets nice and warm out here. I'm gonna set up all my stuff. I'm gonna set up all my. I've got two of these, and I've got my 4K. And I've got my cameras or my other cell phones. Plus, I've got magnetometers. I've
Right.
got compasses, all of that stuff. So then that
So,
way, go ahead.
how much do you actually are you actually able to capture from one location? Like, do you travel around a lot to capture different things, or
No.
you stay within your own little space and that's your
Yeah.
space?
Yeah, I
Wow.
just say, I work from 6 to noon at a local radio station during the day, and
Mhm.
then I come home during the afternoon and then set up my stuff out there on the out there what we call the dock or out there on the porch. Now,
Right.
I will give you an idea as far as where I live is I live 1,900 feet up on top of a mountain, surrounded by trees, and it's a dirt road coming up here,
Right.
and I live 5 miles from North Carolina and 5 miles from Tennessee. So
Wow.
I live up in the mountains of Georgia.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
people don't just drop by, but if anybody ever wants to, by all
Right.
means, you're more than welcome to come up here and hang out. I've had abductees stay in this room right here with me. So
Right.
not at the same time, but
Right.
yeah, but yes. So yeah.
Right.
So the video that I get most of the time is aiming this way, which is aimed straight over to Ducktown, Turtletown, Tennessee, which is right on the border of Tennessee, and also by Johnsonville, North Carolina.
Right.
I don't know why. I do know a little bit why, probably because there is a Native American stone circle that's near here.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting
Would you
because
like
they would usually, put up monuments or structures in
Yeah,
power spots, right?
yes, yes, exactly, and I've also been told that, that they are also, portals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Power
Yeah, yeah.
spots would be, places like Stonehenge. A lot of the ancient people built in these stargates, portals,
Correct.
vortexes, which
Yeah.
is so you would probably get a lot in that
That
area. Now,
we
what about military? Because you guys have a lot of military bases out
oh,
there, and we
well,
know
let's
some of these crafts are like ours, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's take a look. So here's, I'm gonna share my screen with you if that's okay?
Yes, you know how to use it. I love it.
Yes, definitely.
Do
Alright,
it.
so here it goes. I like just generally sharing my whole screen over here. There you
Yeah, yeah,
go.
that's fine. That's
Alright,
fine.
okay.
I'll put it up. You ready?
Yep. Okay, so this is where I am. I'm right in here, which is Pleasant Hill. Okay, here's North Carolina, here's Tennessee. Okay, so if we go in further, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the layers here. All right, turn that on just like that. Oh yes, here we go.
There we are.
All right, so this is Laurel Springs. This is Salem Road. I live right here where the house is, and what we're looking for is right here. So let's kind of zoom in just a little bit, and it might be kind of blocky. That's okay. Oh, look at that.
That
Went right to it.
wow.
Went right to it.
Good
Ta-da!
good shot.
Yes. All right. So let's go out just to make sure,
Wow.
so everybody
So
isn't thinking all
that's a
freaky here.
circle. Are there mounds there as well?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of new to the area, so I do not know.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
now
Yeah,
here's it. Go ahead.
no, I say I could see it being very a hot spot in that spot right there. That's pretty
The
substantial.
And here's the other thing, like, what's up with this? I don't know. I mean, you'd think, okay, yeah, sure, like somebody's just designing something, but it looks like that there's been other designs out in this field before, maybe, but it's
Well,
probably just, could be
there
the way
could
they're
be
built.
ancient structures there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
even pre-ice age even. I mean, who knows? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is starting to surface now,
So now
right?
that you have yes, so now that you kind of have the lay of the land, let me kind of go
For
out here
real.
just a little bit. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm right here. If I aim over that way, that's McKaysville, Copper Hill, Tennessee. I see a
Dolly
lot of
says there are mounds there.
yeah. Oh,
She's
okay.
Cherokee
All right.
Nation is all over the area.
Yes. Yes.
She's
Yes.
she's she's your Georgia person.
Yes, yes, that's right. That is Cherokee. Yes, yes. This is where the Trail of Tears started. Okay, so let me stop sharing that. Okay,
Okay,
so it kind of gives you an idea. That's the lay of the land, um,
right.
and I like to show people that. Then that way, if they say, "Oh, well, this is this or that's that," well, that's fine. I can understand that, But I want to be able um, to differentiate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right, good. All
Of
right.
course.
So now let's take a look at would you like to
What
see my special thing that I'm going to debut tonight?
yeah, let's do that. And then I know you also sent me the rolling UFO video as
Yeah.
well that we can
Yes,
play.
go ahead. Well, I tell you what, you go ahead and
We
show
do
that.
that one?
Yes, you go ahead and
Okay.
show
Okay,
yes, go
people.
ahead.
We've got some show and tell here. So
Okay.
I'm gonna put this on right here, and here we go. So let me see if I could just bring this up right there. Is this gonna go? No. No, I don't want this. I want the big player. No, where did it go? Okay, hold on.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm gonna start over.
That's all right. No, you're fine.
Hold on.
That means that it's live.
Yes, but I was only getting part of the picture, so I'm going to do this again
Okay.
because I want to get this. I was hoping to be able get a bigger screen on there, and I'm used to my own full screen. Well, Jesus Lord. Okay, that's not quite what I want
There you
either.
go.
Okay, hold on. All right. We're just going to do it the normal way so we can
All
just
right.
play this thing. All
Sounds
right.
good.
1 second. Bear with me. Okay. Bam. Okay. Keep an
All
eye.
right. There you go.
There we go.
Yep, just like that. That's my new catchphrase, just like that.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh. That was my mom's house. That was actually my second mutual UFO network unknown. Yeah.
And MUFON has absolutely no idea what this is.
Nope.
Beautiful.
And
That's
I will say,
very interesting.
I will tell you this too, is that I am actually a member of MUFON. I'm a certified field investigator. However, I'm no longer with them because of my ADHD and also some
Right.
other of their dealings that they like to do. But anyway, yes. So that is my first or my second unknown, and
Wow.
my first one is actually up in Arkansas,
Mhm.
and uh, and so we've got any number of things you want to look at tonight. So it's
And you
okay.
know what? You can share up any of your videos, share up
Okay.
anything you
All
want to
right.
share.
Okay.
Photographs. I mean, I love that you can do this because a lot of times, as you can
Okay.
see, I'm fumbling around. You know
Okay, yeah,
exactly
that's
what
all
you're looking
right.
for.
That's okay. So, because sometimes I want to make sure that we get everything good in here, and this is my
Yeah.
latest thing that I told you that I discovered. So,
Okay.
um, now one thing about this camera, I have it set outside, and I've got a tripod.
Okay.
Put the camera on the tripod.
Okay.
Now you would think that it would run out of batteries, but no. Because you can tell I've been doing this for a while. So what I do is I get it, a little charger.
Right.
And here, and then I plug it into an extension cord.
Right.
Ooh, all right. Then I put this in here,
Okay.
and then now anybody who wants to learn how to do this, more than happy to show you how to do it. Okay, you just hook that
Right.
up, and then you just hit the record button, aim it up to the sky, let it sit up there for hours on end because it's got a nice little SD card in here. You just pop that in there, and with it running all day long, I can get multiple hours worth and hours worth
Right.
of craft and of craft and just videos.
Hey,
Okay.
my phone's got a terabyte hard drive in it. More than my computer. I could
Yeah, there you
leave it
go.
up there for hours.
Yeah. Okay. So now with that, I looked at some videos and noticed that when the sky when it got dark, well, that wasn't no good because I couldn't see anything.
Right.
But then I was thinking, I was like, well, how about if I turn up the brightness, maybe even the contrast a little bit? That's when I noticed I started seeing some stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, let's put this to the test.
Well, the contrast
So,
makes it a bit sharper too, doesn't it?
mm-hmm.
Got it.
Right. And I noticed that the same dot, and I'm going to turn the light out here. So it makes it a little bit easier. Okay. So, and I noticed that, that I would see these objects or dots in the sky that changed colors, but they stayed in the same spot. So it wasn't like it was random pixelating or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do tonight, we're just going to pick out one of my videos from earlier, and you pick. I'm going to let you pick it out, and we're going to see what we can find on it. Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah, whatever you
All
want.
right. You never know. Shoot, it could be
We're
you
all
doing
on
it.
top
And I
of
can
it.
tell you how to do it. All right. All
Mhm.
right. So here's what we're going to do. Let me do my screen here, and this is really my gig, is to show people how to do stuff.
Okay.
Because I don't ever want to have anything all just for me. I want to teach everybody how to do it. All right. So now I'm sharing my screen with you.
Okay.
And here we go. Now I'm going to come over here. Now these are all my videos from tonight. You can see here's some from the 2.7. Okay. And
Right.
so if you want to pick out any of those 2.7s, that's fine.
Well, I
We can.
can't really see it that great. It's pretty far. So why don't you just pick
Okay.
one that you know is good, and let's look at that. Pick a good one
And
for us. Yeah.
stop. Okay. We're
Okay,
gonna
good.
stop right here. All right. Let's see.
Okay.
There we go. And so it starts off blue when it gets kind of dark. All right. All right. Okay. I like that. Well, that's okay. So this is from 620. All right. So that's okay. Let's go a little bit darker. Okay, 620. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Very good. So you can kind of see how it starts to get a little bit darker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go down to this next one. So this way you can kind of see. Let's go to the top so you can see what it normally looks like. This is what it normally looks like. All right,
Right.
Gary today. That's what it normally looks like. Okay.
Right.
So now it's been sitting out there all day, and now this is kind of where it's at right here. Okay. Boom. All right. So let's look at this. So
So you haven't looked at any of this yet.
nope.
Wow.
Ooh, what's this?
Okay. So we get to look at it with you. Very cool. Very cool.
What's this? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. See, I see a little something up here, but let's zoom in on this. Now I'm using a program called SM Player. It's freeware. And you can just go and just look up smplayer.info is what it is. I like it because I can zoom in.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just pushing the greater than right now, and we're just kind of watching it go by. Okay. Now, if we see anything that kind of sticks out or stands out. Okay, look at the it's already getting darker, and I'm almost seeing something there.
Well,
It's even getting darker. Okay, right about here.
right.
Yeah, and see, it just
So
kind of
you would think when it's dark like this, that everything would just stick out like a sore thumb.
yes. Oh, there it is. There's a red one. Go back.
Okay, so you can
Oh,
enlarge that.
yeah, yes. And it was right in here. It was right. Yeah, I still see it. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna go in. It seems like it's doing the same thing.
So
Yeah,
is it
right.
actually moving or is this like a stationary? Because if it's stationary, wouldn't it be something like a satellite?
Well, let's take a look. See what we can find out.
Okay.
All right. Oh, see that red? Right. Oh, and there. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Oh, is that little
Right there.
blinky thing?
Yeah,
Like
but see,
right.
oh, right there. Hold on. Let me go back. That was kind of nice. Okay. There you go. It's kind of blue. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this up because I can already see this little blue right here.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't really done anything with the video yet. Come over here to there and let's crank this up just a little bit. Okay. There. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Now see how it's blue? Okay.
Right.
Yep. Okay, let's bring that down there. And that's the cool thing about this is you can kind of do whatever you want with it. Now I'm going to close this. Now let's just keep an
Mm-hmm.
eye on that and see if that changes. Now it's red.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's white. Oh, okay.
So that was cool. So in your opinion, what are we looking at?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, I do not know. I'm going to go back. Yeah. See how all these things are kind of blocky though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a crazy thing with this is that it reminds me of something else that I saw. Now I'm going to show you something
Variable light
else that
stars.
yes, sort of like a hologram. Sort of like a hologram. Now I'm going to show you this, and let's do this right here and multicolored UFO. Okay. This right here is one of my favorites. Okay. So I'm going to crank this up here so you can hear it.
And we finally got a clear night after a little bit of time without one.
So I'd asked for one to come
And
over.
I am looking. I appreciate you flying by.
And I just say, hey, can you fly by? And I appreciate you flying by.
Keep looking around. And maybe you'll see something.
You'll see something. Just keep looking around. And then
The belt of Orion looks like it's lit up. There we go.
see, so that's the belt of Orion.
See
All right,
it moving?
right here.
Right.
All right, now
Thank you so much for showing yourself.
just like to thank them whenever they show themselves. Now,
I came.
okay. All right. Now it was doing this. It was just kind of moving around really crazy. However, let's zoom in on it. Okay. Now that looks like it has a little bit of form. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
You
now
could catch
what I'm
whatever
gonna
it is in motion for sure.
Yeah. Yes. And let me zoom this back out again. Ooh, even that. See, even that looks like it's. Now whenever they're a little blurry like that. So sometimes when you know how I was talking, see how even that one's kind of a pink one. You know how I was talking about using Photoshop and other software to be able to bring out the colors better. That's something that I'm looking for. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let me put that back out. So really that's kind of the thing. That's what I do is try to bring it out just a little bit. Now, take a look at this one. This one right here is probably my favorite one. This guy.
Wow. So what is it we're looking at? What do you think? What is this?
I do not know, other than it is a cloaked UFO, possibly with a Bigfoot in it. Yeah. Yes. So here we go.
Double whammy. Has MUFON seen that one?
I've got a friend with MUFON who has seen it and loves it. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Now, yeah.
And when was that captured? Where and when?
This was back in July 31st. Now see how this comes up before it?
Yes.
And then it's right here. Okay. Wow. 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 I can still see them. There's 1, 2, and there are 2 red ones, and they're blinking. See, I thought that there was 2 originally, but it was this. And you can actually see it wavering. And some people say, oh, well, that's a Chinese lantern. Well, remember I showed you the lay of the land. So there's probably not going to be that much of a chance of a Chinese lantern, especially out here in the forest of North Georgia and South Tennessee. Yeah.
Wow.
And, yeah.
That's different. It's definitely,
well,
it's definitely something that warrants further research. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Now I've got another one right here. Let's take a look at this one right here, if you like.
Okay.
Bring this back. All right. So this is out front, basically the same place where I had the night vision, because I usually set it up about the same time. Thing I like about SM Player is that I can go over here and go over to my bookmarks and say, oh, hey, let's see what this is. Okay, I can save it.
Okay.
And then, all right, now let's rewind it a little bit. Okay, and you think, oh, well, that's a bird. Okay, well, let's take a look.
Right.
We're going to zoom in and okay, let's pull that up there like that. Okay, yes. And I like the way it turns like this, and then it turns and goes bye-bye. Oh, and it also looks like a triangle as it's
doing a triangle, it's probably definitely military.
Yep.
But it's a great capture.
But now, unless they're in front of my house, but I don't know of a whole lot of bases in front of my house. But here's the but. The but is that, yeah. Now, okay, so there's that one. Now, here's the other thing too, is that remember we can call them.
Yes.
So
let's talk about that. The CE5, that's a really big thing right now.
Yes. So
And it
here's
sounds
one.
like you've been doing this for a while.
I've only been doing it for about 6 months. Now here's
Wow,
one.
come on, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, very simple. Me and my wife do it all the time. Here's one that I did at my mom's house.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
So here goes.
Hey, go get my mom. Hey, Mom. We just called out within seconds, and looks like something interesting.
That's interesting for sure.
So I just basically called it as I was walking out the door.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you consider this to be the same, if not, I mean, obviously very similar to the night vision one you had?
Possibly, yes. That could very well also be a hologram.
Okay.
Yeah. So so let's take a look. Let's take a look just to see what this one is. So I've got a friend of mine who told me how to make these stand out. So what you do is you take a screenshot of them. So we're going to do a screenshot of this.
Okay.
And let's just do that. And I'm going to do the window screen, and I'm going to do print screen.
Okay.
Boom. All right. And then I'm going to put this over here in my other free software, edit, paste. This is called IR fan view. And we're going to just cut that out like that and edit. Then we're going to go crop selection. Okay. We're going to go file, and we're going to save this as the podcast. We're going to, just for tonight, we're talking about it. So we're going to come over here to the UFO. There we go. And podcast discussion, test picks. All right. We're going to call that clipboard 1. Heck, we're not even going to rename it or nothing. All right. All right. Because that's the way we do things. We're just going to do it like that. Now I'm going to open up another program called LD Player. It is a freeware Android simulator. Because I'm not that great with my filters. So maybe somebody can step up and say, hey, this is what you would do on instead. So I'm going to open this up. So my friend told me this is that you use Snapseed, and it works really well. So we're going to do this right here. Go up to the test picks. We're going to drop in this clipboard and do just like this. Boom. All right. Okay. Ooh. Always. Okay. Now let's change this over to extenuate. All right. I'm going to hit save on that. All right. Now go ahead.
No, I'm just watching. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm going to exit this because for some reason this is the only reason I don't like it as well, because I can't turn it around.
Right.
Because I'm trying to. There we go. All right. Let's see if this works one more time. Bam. Okay. I apologize. But this will kind of give you an idea as far as what this is going to do.
All right. Okay.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit that and just save that. Okay. Let's turn this back around one more time. There we go. All right. And just save that right there. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to reopen this again.
All right.
And then come back over on this one again and see if it'll let me do it this way. This is the thing I don't like, because it doesn't give me the filter I want. I do apologize. But what it's going to do is it's going to break out something that looks like this.
Right.
And as you zoom in, things start to look a lot different. Things start to look electronic. And
well,
just
it's
like
very
this down here.
pixelated, so it's hard to say, right?
But when you do it, you'll get something like a screen that looks like this.
Right.
It's not that pixelated.
No.
See, See, look at that.
Right.
So
Hmm.
if you have a copy of Snapseed, shoot, I could drop it in and send it to you right now. But basically what this will do is it will kind of give you a breakdown of what you're really seeing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My friend
Right.
Nigel MP told me, he said, this is what you do. You take a screenshot of whatever you're looking
Mm.
at, run that through Snapseed, and then also and then that'll show you where the UFO is cloaking, and then you can actually see the bigger object.
Cool. Okay. So, I mean, it's a really, you really have to know what you're doing with the technology.
You
Just in
do.
what everything you're doing, there's a lot of stages to it.
There are a lot. Yes, that's the thing. There are definitely a lot. And so even with the free programming and stuff too, sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of dig in. So not everybody has the SM22. So,
Right.
that, so hey, let's, if you want, let's rewind all the way back to my very first UFO video. You want to do that one?
Oh, whatever you want. Whatever
Okay.
you want. I mean,
Yeah.
people want to see what it is that's out there. I mean, right now you have people who are into the whole CE5 movement. They're going in, they're calling them forward, they're making connections.
Yes.
Something is
Mm.
coming out to them. There's been some pretty incredible things captured, right down to even extraterrestrials captured on video that have,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So here is, I'm going to show you, actually, I'm going to show you this video first, because you were asking me about some of the CE5 stuff that we do.
okay.
So, and anybody can do this. You don't really have to worry about, let's say some people say, well, I don't know how to meditate, or, that kind of thing. That's fine. You don't have to know how to meditate. So
Mhm.
all you have to do is just have to ask them to show themselves. And then when they do, just be very grateful. Just say, thank you for showing yourself. So I've created this video. It's called Requests and Dedications. And
Mhm.
this is also on my YouTube channel. And
Okay.
there's no edits.
Okay.
So here goes.
Is there anybody here who can fly by?
So just basically ask if they can fly by.
You're out there. My name is Les.
And you'll see it's 24 seconds after.
Mhm.
I would like to just be able to see you. We see you just about every night. Can you show yourself to us?
All right. And there we go.
I'd like to show the world that you're here. There's one right there.
Mhm.
You know, right there, just like that. Wow.
Wow. This is the second
Hello.
one.
Mhm.
Wow. 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 It's beautiful. Look at that. And then I get to where
Yeah.
I see so many of them now. I just dedicate them to people.
We're sending this one out to Deanna.
Mm.
Just like that. There you go.
I've got so many. It's
That's
just like,
Vegas.
yeah, it's crazy.
Right. Right.
But
But it goes to show you that, anyone can really go out there and do it. I mean, I've
yeah,
called out to them just telepathically
yes, that's
without
exactly right.
yeah, meditation or anything of that
Mhm.
nature. I just go out and say, "Okay,
Right,
where are you?" Bam, there they are. There's something.
right. Yes.
Sometimes it's like a portal or a stargate, like flash in the sky, just bam, bam,
Hmm.
really, really quick. But you
Yes.
had one of your videos where they actually saw a looked like a circle of lights.
Hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you, what would that be? Would that be
Well,
again satellites? It's tough. You're
see,
in a day and age of a lot of satellites.
yeah, see that, I mean, that could be. Now here's another thing too that I recommend, and that you also do is to use your sat tracker. It does the same thing as well. And so we just pull this down and we can go, you can just pull up any one that you like. There's one called ISS Sat Tracker or ISS Tracker. So we're just typing ISS. Okay, ISS. Okay, ISS detect. Oop, ISS detector right there. And you can put that one in there. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, and then okay, SA satellite. Okay. Oop. I also have 3 other satellite detectors in here as well.
Right.
There you
Okay.
go. Yeah, look for sat.
Satellite tracking. Right.
Yeah, so that way you have. Oh, now that was kind of weird. Okay, see, I just went blank, or I just went. Ooh, that was
I
fun.
know. It's totally your
Oh,
camera
yeah,
is still.
looks like I've been drinking.
I know.
Anyway,
Your camera's on something else. Right.
of course, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've had equipment freak out on you, right?
No, not at all.
Right? I know the deal. Okay, well that's weird because I don't really want to stop it. I don't know what else to do. I guess maybe I could, turn it off and on. But anyway, yeah. So anybody can do this, and it's a fun thing. I'm gonna try stopping my camera. Turn.
Hello. You gone? Still there? Are you audio? There we are. Okay, hold on. And back.
Hey, I'm back. Hey, you can see me now.
We can. I know.
Craziness.
Just
Yeah.
beamed back down.
Mm-hmm.
So
But after a while, when you get to where you call them so much, I have so many. I mean, I almost had to almost take a week off of what I call UFOing just because I've got so much stuff to look at, and I need I get to a point where I need people to help me put it all together,
so
and that's why I have my team, Objects and Orbs.
right. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. I mean, you've captured a lot of different anomalies.
Mhm.
Have you ever captured extraterrestrials?
Not that I know of, unless that one that I was showing you that people think looks like a Chinese lantern.
Yes. Yeah.
It sure does look like that there could be something inside of that.
Hmm.
It would really, and I've had people tell me that they think that there could be something in there as well.
Hmm.
But hey, I'd be more than happy to post that one up there too if that one's not already on my Google Drive for anybody
Right.
who wants to download it. In fact, let me see. Yeah, if anybody wants a copy of my Google Drive, I don't mind giving it out. Shoot, get a copy of all my latest ones.
Right.
Oh yeah, colorful. Yeah, here we go. Colorful objects, right
Right.
there. So,
Right.
because this isn't my stuff, this is just something I've recorded. It's not like I'm never going to get it again. You
Mm.
know.
Right.
Granted, if
Right.
you put it on the cover of MUFON magazine and say it's yours, well, I'll be like, well, yeah, but
Nah, I draw the line at
yeah, so, yeah,
copyright
I
infringement.
kind of,
But
hey, I kind of
yeah,
took
yeah.
that picture, but
Yeah, but I think
uh,
people should be able to go to your YouTube channel and see a
yes,
lot of that. They
yeah,
can
and
download it and have a look at it
here's
from
what I
there.
want. Yeah, here's what I want you to do. The video I was going to show you, it was my very first one, but it's a half an hour long.
Oh boy,
Um,
yeah.
and now you're not going to watch the whole half hour. No, no, no.
No.
What you're going to do is you're going to find yourself a nice little YouTube downloader, or what you're going to do is you'll just ask me for my my Google Drive. You download it. If you got a really nice internet connection, it's about, I don't know if you know anything about the image sizes, but it's 4 gigs big. It's in half an hour long.
Right.
I would say there are at least 30 UFOs on there, and the very last ones are the ones that MUFON deemed unknown. And
Right.
it's called UFOs over Searcy, Arkansas. So you
Right.
can find that on my YouTube channel. That's the Objects and Orbs YouTube
Hmm.
channel. Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah.
So
And that's what I want people to. I mean, really, that's what I want people to do. I want people to say, "Hey, I found a UFO on your video. Thank you,
mhm, mhm,
fantastic." Yeah.
right. So there are some people out there who believe that, there are no extraterrestrial or otherworldly crafts out there at the moment, that it's a lot of reverse engineered stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they need to do a little bit more research.
Okay.
Because here's the reason why I say that is because I've looked up enough or even more Freedom of Information Act paperwork stating for sure that even Roswell was beings that were recovered from Roswell.
Yes.
I can give you the exact link. If you want to go to I tell you what, this is your homework. I'm gonna let you look up the link. What I want you to do is I want you to look up the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. I want you to go plus whenever you go to Google, say, plus magic, MAJIC. Okay. You're going to type in magic. It should pull up what they call a worm file. Okay. You pull up the worm file. It's just a PDF. And on page 19, I will tell you that it will tell you the truth about Roswell. It's actually MJ12. It's when they started, and it tells you who all was originally in that, and that the cover story was a balloon, but it was actually extraterrestrial people that have been picked up. There is also, if you've ever heard of MJ12, there is also a handbook that's out there. There is, you'll know that they pretty much run every single thing other than my friends, the Freemasons.
Right.
Yeah. And I know about them too, because my boss is one. Yeah.
Right.
But,
yes.
and I highly appreciate them.
Right.
Yes. So, and so with all that being said, do you still think mostly the government? I don't know.
Well, I'm a big believer in the fact that not all extraterrestrials are from space. I believe there's a lot of them
No,
here. I
they're not.
believe many of them are dimensional, interdimensional,
Yes, there you go. You got
multidimensional
it.
beings. That they don't all need crafts. You could just
That's right.
traverse with a thought. There's
There you go.
portals. Those who use portals and vortexes, I
Yes.
mean, they're all over the
Yes.
planet as well. So that's why I kind of, when you look to the skies, look to the oceans, what's in the skies, do they really need crafts? I mean, I don't think they do need as many crafts. When you're saying holographic stuff, I think that makes a lot of sense as well, because there's a lot of holograms.
Yeah, because if
Right?
you would actually see the actual size of the craft, you wouldn't believe it.
Well, I believe it.
Well, I know you'd believe. I know you would. I mean, it's like we preach to the choir a lot here, but that's the thing, is that
Right.
it's huge. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're saying that they had seen craft down in downtown Phoenix. It's like, well, yes, I'm sure you did. And the thing is, too, is not all of it was solid.
Right.
There was a lot of it that was floating through downtown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was,
Right.
but there was just enough that you could see. So when you talk about interdimensional, definitely. And also, do you think that the speed of thought is faster than the speed of light?
I think so.
I think so too. I've never heard anybody who said no.
Right.
Yeah, if I said right now I'm tapping on your back, and you looked around just now, right? See, it would have been too late because I would have done it already, right?
Right. Just through thought, for sure.
Right. Okay, like I'm right beside you. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I mean, even crafts, I mean, Dolly's been on the show, has talked about this as well. Even crafts, a lot of the pilots of these crafts do so by, it's organic. They merge with their crafts.
Yes.
Everything is thought controlled.
Right. Yes. Then they use their four fingers, or their three, or something like that. Yeah. And so,
just right here.
Oh yeah. No, they think about, and if you think about it, that's the best way to fly. And just like the old '70s, they used to say the only way to fly, and that's the way you do it. You just say, you know what, I want to be, boom, I want to be in Japan, boom, I want to be here, and you just boom, you're just there.
Right.
Now, would it be nice to take your car with you? Sure, I would like to bring my family with me. I mean, hey,
yeah,
you gotta think. Well, I mean, hey, if you want to take your car, at least you have your food with you, and or whatever you need.
Right.
Yeah.
I think being able, everything is like organic,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
craft in many
yes.
cases it's a living, breathing thing.
Yeah. Oh, I see tons of organics all the time. Yes, I sure do. I see some that morph and they do all these beautiful colors.
Right.
I've got a whole, bunch. I got a whole folder full of colorful objects that are waiting to be
Mm,
processed because
right.
I don't know how to batch process at the same time.
Well,
That's really
I like that, MUFON looks at something and that they just put a question mark on it because they're
Mhm,
uncertain about what they're looking at. So,
mhm,
it's the same when you're going through paranormal captures. If
mhm.
you can't explain it, it just warrants it. It doesn't necessarily mean that 100% this is what I captured, but what it means is it warrants further research, which is great because you haven't
Yes.
scrubbed it out saying this is nothing. It
Right.
means that there's something that you get to continue to explore.
That's exactly right. And here's the other thing too is all of my work that I have is all screenshots. If you see anything that's a still, that's
Mhm.
because it's from a screenshot. So
Right.
I can actually go back. I've noticed that because I do have a new gamer computer that I can go back to my haunted house video and say, wow, I'm seeing stuff that I didn't see before. It's like, this
Right.
is amazing because I've got some really nice resolution on this computer.
Makes a
So
big difference. Yeah.
it makes a big, big difference, and I'm able to process a lot better to where you, the
Mhm.
viewer, can see it even better, say, "Wow, that's right in my face."
Mhm.
So yeah, by all means, always hold on to your stuff because even an old picture can always be, you know, brought
Yes.
restored, brought back to life.
Well, I can tell you, go back to vacation pictures. I've been very fortunate to be a world traveler, and
Mhm.
I've gone to many incredible places throughout the world. And I don't, you're just so busy taking pictures, and now with social media, you just post, 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 but you don't ever
Right.
really go back and examine them. And I
No.
went back and looked at some of my photos from the south of France one year, and found probably 3 or 4
Mhm.
phenomenal photos,
Yes.
and I thought, "Wow, how did I miss this the first time?" Because it's, like, right in your face, but you just don't.
Right. I had the same thing happen. I sent out some scenery pictures and somebody said, "Oh, by the way, you've got a couple of craft in there." I'm like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Why, heck, I sure do." Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
I
So
I've had a friend of mine
mm,
who does tours in the south of France again, and, probably sent me a couple of photos that were a couple of years apart, and they're on a mountain, and right behind them is you see a
yeah.
saucer. 2
Wow.
different pictures,
That's
really
amazing.
clear. I mean,
Yeah.
really clear pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. And that,
So
it's yeah, and the thing is too, is like even with my wife, they wait for us.
right.
We'll go outside and they'll be waiting for us as if, we had called them. So every time we were walking out, we just, "Hey, can you show yourself?" And, "We love seeing you and walk out tonight." And you saw the picture I showed you tonight of how beautiful it is, all the stars.
Right. Oh,
And
it's
that's
beautiful.
what it is right now. I mean, you look at if you look through, you're seeing the reflection of my computer, but beyond that, it's all dark.
Right.
I mean, that's a
Right.
window. So, yeah.
Right. No, I love it. I think that's where, I mean, I used to see more things, like I said, growing up in a valley or going out. My grandparents owned an island out on this huge lake, up north, and, you'd go there. There was nothing around this island, like, for miles, and this is where I think you get the best stuff because
Mhm.
they just don't appear just anywhere.
Oh, I know. There's some places I would love to be back. I used to be. I'm originally from Lubbock, Texas, and there's all kinds of sky there, and I have caught some very nice uh, UFOs from there too. I still have the video. I mean, we could still look at them,
Right.
but
Right.
there and even back out west.
Mhm.
Um, so
I think remote is key, is what I'm
yes,
trying to
exactly.
think. I think, you know?
That's exactly
Um,
exactly right. Yes.
I think this is why people go to the mountains or the deserts
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wait. I mean, I've driven down up along the river and just look
Mhm.
up and say, "Why are you?" And all of a
Yes,
sudden
there
you
you
see a
go.
big shoot like a flash, bam, bam, gone,
Mhm.
just like that. It's like,
Ve
"Thank you."
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just say, "Thanks, thanks for showing yourself, and, I
Yeah.
really appreciate it." And that's what attracts them to you.
Mhm.
That's how you know that they are whatever they are, because you're calling them.
So tell me this, if you know. Do you think you are a contactee or an experiencer?
Good question. I do not think so at this point, but I do think I've been shown some things that I can't explain. I have had
Okay.
some crazy dreams lately, which is part of it. I was given a dream where I could actually see all the multiple dimensions and things just kind of floating together to where I could just pick whatever I wanted and
Mm,
choose, say, okay, I want to be in this dimension. And at first I was thinking that time travel couldn't exist, but now I think that you can't always determine the stuff you can't see. So it's not
mhm.
like I can live my life over again.
Well,
What
maybe you're having, like, an out of body experience. Maybe you're just going astral.
could
Like,
be
what makes you think it's a dream?
true. I don't know.
I'm
That'd be somebody, yeah, that would be somebody who could step up and say, "Well, that sounds like what you're having maybe." I don't know.
well,
I'm
sometimes
trying to
I
do this
think
stuff.
downloads sometimes because I've been
Mhm,
shown things and I wake up and I'm just like, you just seem to know things. I'll start researching things, and next
mhm.
thing you know, I'm pulled, and all these different things start coming up on the computer, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this? I
Right.
wouldn't think to go and look for something like that. But yet,
Exactly.
there it is.
Mhm.
And I have been given messages. I have been, shown beings that, looking for assistance. And then
Yep.
I look and there's this being, and then I go searching and all of this other stuff. Like I'm a big believer in synchronicities. I don't believe in
Yes, I do too.
coincidence, right?
There's
But
no
I
such
do
thing as
believe in
coincidence.
synchronicities. And then
Yes.
all of a sudden, everything seems to be coming together. The puzzle comes together,
Yes.
and you realize that you have just been shown something of magnitude.
Yes, that's very perfect, and have you noticed that there is some type of a gathering of us?
Absolutely. I I I was just talking to somebody about this today, actually,
Mhm.
how who's
Synchronicity.
going to be a guest on the show as well, and it's a matter of people of like mind all of a
Yes,
sudden are finding their way to one another and sharing of information
right.
and coming out of the closet, I guess, because since they started talking about disclosure, I find more people have come out and said, "Look, I'm a contactee, or I'm an
Yeah,
abductee, or I'm an
right.
experiencer. I
Yes,
remember having things as a child before my mom passed, and I started having all of this stuff happening to me again,
yeah,
or at least having recollection and experiences. I started to remember having them as a child. And I asked her, I says, "Do you ever remember having
mm,
experiences?" Thank God, I asked her, obviously, before she passed. And all this
right.
information was given to me, and it made me realize that, okay, you know what? People are becoming more comfortable in
Yes.
talking about it.
Yes, yes, and I recently I've been joining local groups, so
Mhm.
McKaysville, Georgia, and, Murphy, North Carolina, and just places just nearby, and just
Right,
kind of introducing myself, and even introducing myself to back to towns in California I used to live in when I was little,
right.
and so they kinda get to know me, and I haven't gone back to Lubbock yet, but I'm gonna start doing that, but just say, "Hey, if you happen to see anything in the sky, let me know," and I've actually gotten really good responses. People have not laughed or anything. They've said, "I've seen this," or "I've seen that," and I'm able to kinda answer their questions, which is great. I mean, that's wonderful, and,
Right.
now people want if you really wanna see kinda like how I do and how I record with the phones, I
Mhm.
want you to go to Tubi or go to Amazon Prime and look up Encounters: The Complete Interviews.
You can but if you're in Canada or in another country, you
Oh,
won't be able to get it. You have to be in the US.
yes, yes.
Yeah, they won't even let you
Unless
purchase it.
yeah, unless maybe you can VPN it or something. I don't know on Google. And I'll see what
It's
happens.
hard. Well, it's hard with Prime if you're looking at it through and you have an account because they match everything up. Don't
Right.
think I didn't try. I have everything. And
That's
so,
right.
but
All right.
I think it's great because,
Yeah.
um, it's people are interested. They're watching these programs
Right. Yeah.
and they're saying to themselves, you know what? I had an experience like that. Sometimes you don't think about it
Mm-hmm.
until you see a show and you're like, "Wait a minute, this looks
Yeah.
familiar. I think this happened to me."
Mm-hmm.
So
And
in
I
your
had that too.
episode,
Yes.
yeah. So in your episode that you
Mm-hmm.
did,
Mm-hmm.
are you teaching people or are you talking about your experiences? Because I didn't get to
Well,
see it.
yeah, a little bit of both. So
Okay.
it started off where I had just gotten this phone, and all of
Right.
a sudden I saw this kind of red and white object kind of going across the sky. And as I
Right.
looked at it, I could tell that it was a triangle, and it had three circles, and it was going just very slowly and very quietly, and just kind of moving along like that. And then, but what you could see is you could see lights that were just kind of turning around,
Mm,
and they were kind of turning around it. And so I had a filmmaker from North Carolina come, and he did the video with me. And then also the guy who is also in the series, he is an abductee, and he also had an implant that he had removed, and he's one of the guys who stayed here. Um,
mm.
but in that video, yes, I do teach people how to set up your camera and to set up your phone. Also, if you ever want to get a hold of me, I can give you the link. My email is objectsandorbs@gmail.com,
Mhm.
and I have a how-to on my Google Drive. So if you want a how-to, it steps you right through all the steps to set up everything.
Well, I put all the links you sent me in the
All
show
right,
description as well, so they
great.
can just go, copy and paste the links or click on the links.
Yes,
Um, but I know the military also has they have triangular
yes, they do.
um crafts with the lights underneath, which is
Yes,
still a great capture because they're very silent. They move across the
they're very quiet.
sky
Yes.
and they makes you wonder just how many of them are out there.
That's the thing that gets me too, because are they going to have one 10 miles from Blue Ridge, Georgia, or are they going to have one a little bit closer to something else that they're wanting to look at? We'll just say a non-good player country.
Well, let me suggest this. Sometimes when you're in an area that is very active with
Mhm.
craft
That's
activity,
true.
you're going to have military
Oh,
keeping an
that's
eye on that area.
I
Um,
agree, yes. I do have a video. I actually do have a picture of a helicopter, that is coming up to the house, and it definitely looks Black Ops to me. But now my wife did tell me that we did have some Men in Black stop here one day, and they pulled up to our house, and they backed up to the house, and she said, "Oh, did you see that black SUV?" I was like, "No," and she said it was backed up to the house as I was driving in. I'm like, "Okay," and then she said it just passed me. I'm like, "All right," and really, you can only get one car down the way, so yeah.
so why do you think that they were visiting you, Les?
I do not know.
Take a quick guess.
Yeah, I do not know. And here's the thing, it's not like I don't have anything to hide.
I know you're right there, ready to send it to anybody who wants
I
it.
know, it's like, yeah. Yeah,
But
maybe they don't want me to teach the world. That's why, really that was one of my original things for starting my YouTube channel and my Facebook was to say, "You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna put it all out there. The
mhm.
world will have it."
do,
That's
you-
just
do,
the
you-
way it goes.
do you think that's the way to go? I mean, for example, somebody who's an experiencer
Mhm.
and who are having these captures, because you are an experiencer of sorts
Yeah.
if you're capturing all of this stuff so easily.
Mhm.
But do you think for somebody who's teetering on the edge and maybe worried about, you know, maybe
Uh-huh.
they've got people military in their family, maybe they don't want anybody to know. Is it better to come out and put it all out there and open and expose yourself, or is it better to just shut
Yes.
the hell up?
No, it is because my dad used to be in the military, you know,
Well,
and
okay.
he recently passed away, but, literally a month ago, but,
Oh,
or in
sorry.
December. Oh, thank you. But, and then so he knew that I was into UFOs, and he said, "Oh, yeah," he thought that that was really cool, and then my mom also, if we were playing more of that video, you'll hear her on there saying, "Yeah, that's not a plane." And then, so she sees it. So it's not like I'm not hurting my family in any way. I'll go
Right.
out there and say, "This is what I do." Now,
Mhm.
granted, I don't go on the air yet and say, "Oh, I'm a UFO hunter and a ghost hunter, and I, this is what I do." But I do. People know me because of my name in the community, so I don't mind because
Mhm.
this is what I do. And I tell
Mm.
people that, yeah, I would like to be taken, but I do want to. My wife knows this as well, but I've already prayed about it. One, I'm going to leave my debit card because that's what my wife said I need to do. But and I tell people this too, that if I don't show up on the air tomorrow morning, you'll know
Mhm.
I've been abducted.
Right.
I mean, I'm the morning guy. I'm the morning guy for Mountain Country Radio. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
kind of the thing. So if I'm not on the air tomorrow, I've been
Mhm.
abducted. But
But
I
who? By who? That's the
so yeah,
question.
right.
Them
Now
or us?
right,
Right?
right. Yeah. Now,
Well,
either way, if I don't show up, I've still abducted. I've
right.
Now, if they put me in jail or something, a hoop-de-doo, then they gotta pay me, and or they don't have to pay me, they just gotta feed me, hopefully, and, you know. But
Right.
here's the thing, remember, I've got friends.
Right.
They,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? Those guys, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, my boss is a Freemason, come on now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
You know who runs this town, right?
well, he runs a lot of towns. But
Uh-huh.
but I
You
think there's a lot more to it than that too, though. And I
but
think a lot of these people, um, because I have a lot of friends who are Freemasons, lots, especially in this business, being, in media. I've spent 20 years in media, meeting people from all walks of
yeah,
life. And I can tell you, they're keepers of ancient knowledge.
yes, they are.
So to have that kind of information, put away, then you're at the higher levels
Would you
and you're aware of even more information.
Mhm.
There's a lot of there's so much more. We're just barely scratching the surface.
Yes. Would
So
it Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, 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 go ahead.
Would it make sense that that stone circle is protected by the county? It's protected by the county.
Of course,
No.
because it's an ancient monument. It's
Mhm.
automatically going to be protected
Yes.
because it's like Stonehenge. You can't just walk into Stonehenge on an
Right,
average. You
exactly.
just you can't
Right.
just do that anymore
But
because
you
it
also can't
becomes
take a tour of it. You can't go down to to Stone Circle and take a tour of it, you know?
right.
So it's basically it's cut off also from the public, but it's protected by the so I can see what you're saying.
I
It's
would say two things for that. I would say let's go with logic, and logic says
yes,
people have a way because I know I visit historic places all over the
mhm,
world, and so
yes,
you're going to have people say no. The public, even your sweat and your
mhm,
camera flashes, everything can be
yes,
destructive to ancient monuments and ancient
yes,
structures. So they protect it to keep the people from damaging it.
yes, right,
Um, but if you have places that would be considered power spots where you
mhm,
have, vortexes or portals, in some
right,
cases, you can go to Sedona and walk right up to the vortex. I mean, it's not
right,
protected, but you can't go to the Grand Canyon, for example, and look at all the Egyptian hieroglyphs and
yeah,
monuments and things that are
right.
hidden.
That's exactly
There's something special there. You can't go to Antarctica. Well, you can go to Antarctica, but you're not going to see what
right.
certain people get to see,
Yes, there you go.
right?
Right.
For
Yeah, so that's
obvious reasons. So I
yes,
think you have
that's
a bit of a
exactly right.
double-edged sword there.
Yeah, and I do got to tell you this, that I definitely love them as much as I know about the stuff that they do. They definitely take care of their people, and they've they definitely, I know that they take care of me, and so that's a good thing. But it's so all so everything that we talk about, it's all tied together.
Right.
Yeah, and the paranormal is, the UFOs are, it's all tied together. Yeah.
I actually believe that. And I believe that people who have had contact with ET,
Mhm.
especially who are contactees,
Right.
paranormal things happen to them for many reasons. I think first off, your abilities. Many people come back, all of a sudden they're like super psychics,
Yes, I've
um,
seen that.
right? And you tend to see, you might see cryptids more often. If you look at, let's just take Bigfoot for an example.
Right.
Sometimes he's often seen with orbs,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and UFOs.
Quantum physics,
Yes,
and
there you go. I
UFOs.
love that. Quantum, love it, love it, love it. Quantum
Right.
mechanics,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, right? So now you just connect everything. Some of the things that were happening to me, even paranormally speaking,
Mhm.
I as I've come, as you get older, you evolve, right? You become more
Right.
aware, you research, you
Mhm.
learn new things. And
Sure.
now I think to myself, okay, wait a minute. Have I been having these experiences the whole time and
Ooh,
putting it off as paranormal?
right. That's a very good idea. I've never thought of it that way. I don't know if I've ever really had anything like that. Um,
Less 50% of the people I've worked with, like that I've helped over
mhm.
2 decades, 50%. Let's take it down a notch, go to 45, have had extraterrestrial experiences as well.
Wow.
They've been contactees or they've had sightings as well as
Wow.
just paranormal. So it's not all what they think it is.
Right, right, right. So, are you saying that you think that I may have been contacted before? Really? Wow, that's
I do.
interesting.
I believe it because it's so easy. You have a really nice telepathic connection with them.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
Wow.
calling out to them, yes, yes, people can be taught to do this. It should be second nature, really, because
It's-
the ancient our
Right,
ancestors did this.
right, right,
You go back into ancient texts, go back and to look at all these ancient places. The ancients emulated and wrote about and spoke about what they saw. Look at all of these ancient places that depict
right.
UFOs, extraterrestrials, hieroglyphs, petroglyphs, oh,
Mhm.
it's everywhere.
Yeah, right.
I mean, go back into the Bible. You'll read about it. You will
Mm.
see images of it. Da Vinci went missing for 2 weeks, came back even more brilliant, and spoke about a lot of stuff that had to
Wow.
do with
Okay. Alright.
extraterrestrial knowledge, right? Like, it's all out there. Our ancestors were very comfortable with this. The
Yeah.
indigenous people, super. Look at the Hopi, what they talk about, their
Right.
friends from the
Yeah.
stars. And I mean, come on. So since Roswell, the rest of us don't want to talk about it anymore. It became
Mhm.
very suppressed. It doesn't
Right.
mean it ever stopped. So you have a natural ability to just, CE5 is a movement now. People are teaching other people
Mhm.
how to do it.
Right.
But you could go out there. I could go out there.
Yeah, we can
I
start
think
to
if
right now, we call them and like, "Hey, how you doing?" Just like that.
I would prepare and say, "Okay, I think I'm ready for this." Right, there it is. I was
Yes.
like, "Holy crap, that was easy."
Oh, yeah. I cannot tell you how many times my wife said, "I'm gonna go walk the dogs." I'm like, "All right." And then all of a sudden, there's one, there's one, there's one.
Yeah,
"Okay, I'll be out in a minute. Let me grab my phone. I'll be out in a minute." And then she's like, "The one that just," yeah, and then by the time I get out there, there's another one. Anybody
right.
can do it. So somebody had asked, ladies,
Yeah, yeah, please answer. What is
yeah, so what
CE5?
is 5? That's Close Encounters 5. So basically, that is where you're able to call them. And now with CE5, there's Stephen Greer. He's the main, kind of the main leader with that, and I love him. He goes way, I mean, he goes from down here, goes way even beyond quantum physics and everything. He goes way out there. So, which is fantastic. I love listening to people that blow me away.
Right.
And I'm very ADHD. I don't read, but I do like to watch them occasionally. However, with the things that they do, is that they do a lot of meditation beforehand, and they're spending a lot of time. They're listening to quiet music and all this, which is great.
And it
That
goes on for days, doesn't it? Like it's
yeah,
their weekend retreats.
yeah, fantastic. And I don't want you to ever pay a dime for it. Don't ever pay a dime. It doesn't go to nobody. Don't pay a dime. You just walk out there and you say, "Hey, can you show yourself?" And say, "I'm friendly and it's nice meeting you." And they are very attracted to nice-natured people. So people that have a good heart. And then when you see them, thank them for showing themselves. Thank you so much for using my equipment. Same thing with the spirits. You like over
Yes.
here, I turn on my REM pod and I say, "Hey, if you can touch this, that would be fantastic."
Hmm.
And I just put that on right there and just say, "Hey, can you touch that for me?" And if you can,
Right.
that would be great. And if not, that's fine too. Not a big deal. But
Right.
hey, I appreciate them doing that. And then
Right.
when they do, that just kind of eases your mind a little bit. But it also you'll have a better feeling, like a good vibe, as we know. And shoot, I could talk about
Yeah, of
vibrations
course. Of course.
forever, but so it's all about um
Right.
yeah, it's true that
Here's
many people see it.
here's a comment.
Yeah.
Wayne, there have been also many cases where people in a crowd encounter a UFO, but only 2 out of 6 may actually see it, while others do not. It's thought that people who do see them are contactees.
And the people who don't want to believe it.
Very possible. I don't think they're overly prejudiced about who they communicate with. I think
Yeah.
you're getting to a point where they want to reach out and they've been waiting for us. As I always say, we
Yeah.
are a species with amnesia. We
Yeah.
don't seem to remember where we come from or who we
Right.
are and
Right.
who
That's
with all of these
exactly.
abilities that we just don't seem to be able to connect to
Yes,
anymore.
that's exactly right. And once you discover this, then it seems to not stop and it seems to get better. Just like with my, trying finding stuff in the dark,
Right.
finding dots in the dark, you're it's like a switch has been turned on. You're like, "Hey, I just discovered this," or "Hey, I just discovered I could do this." Does this mean that I discovered it? No. It just basically means that I discovered something that I wasn't thinking about before. And because I can just see, my camera be like, "Well, and can you imagine, like, hey, I just deleted, 5 gigs worth of files," and be like, "No,
Right.
no," you know, um,
Right.
because that
Right.
stuff I could have been watching on a rainy day. That's what I do. Um,
Right.
but as things, you see a UFO that you've
Yeah, if
been in,
you've seen a UFO, does it mean that you have been in that UFO?
you
I
know,
say.
um, you,
What's your thoughts?
you think so? Yes. I don't
I
know for as many as I've seen. I mean, I've even seen some tonight, so I can say, no, I
Right.
haven't seen that UFO
Right.
probably tonight.
Well,
Um,
maybe not at that moment. I don't believe
yeah,
you've been in every one of them that's come up. I believe sometimes you're meant to see them. I think sometimes maybe it's a little gentle push.
yes,
I
yeah,
mean, I've had like visions or like,
yeah,
well, I'm asleep and all of a sudden I'm getting like I am somewhere looking up through like a portal at the sky, at the stars. I'm in space. And I'm thinking, and it's in those twilight hours of the morning when you're not really sleeping
right,
deep.
right,
And it's just like,
right.
what the heck was
Yeah.
that?
Now, here's the other thing too is that now we live in a cabin style house, and so our bedroom is at the top, just right above me, and there's a window that's aiming right out that way. And when we look outside, you can see the sky very nicely. And there have
Right.
been times where something in my mind, telepathy, saying, "Okay, you need to wake up and open up the window." And I looked out there, sure enough, that there's something going by. And I would wake up my wife and say, "Look, hon, there's something going right by us."
Right.
Just, and like I say, just like that. Um,
I think
but
it's determining which is which, them or us.
I don't know.
Because I mean, if you're reverse engineering crafts, you're
Hmm.
already here. They fly great distances pretty darn quick.
Yes.
And what are your thoughts on Project Blue Book? Which
As
is,
far as far as if it was true or
well, as
what?
far as just, trying to give the illusion that we need to fear all of these people. So you're going to
No.
see more holograms. You're going to see and hear of more things like the Miami Mall incident, for
Oh
example.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're definitely gonna see more of that stuff. And
Hmm.
um, as you can tell, it's been coming out. This is being seen. That's being seen,
Yes.
and it's getting to a point where they're gonna throw their hands up and say, "Okay, enough of these things that we think that are hoaxes are really not hoaxes."
Hmm.
And that's
But but if you're trying to instill fear,
oh yeah, no,
that would be a good way to do it.
yeah, yeah, no, no, there shouldn't be any fear because fear is a human thing. We
Yes.
are viewing see, and I saw you smile on that because, yes, right? Because
Yes.
we can't project our fear onto what we think they're going to do to us. That's why when I want to be taken, I want to say, "I want to remember what's going on.
Mhm.
I want you to give me some good drugs so I don't feel what you're doing, but
Mhm.
give me back so I can go to work on time, and we're good to go." And that's just the
Right.
way it goes. We're fine. I don't fear them,
Right.
because
But you shouldn't. There's a
I
lot of really
cherish
good
them.
experiences out there.
Yes, I cherish them, and I cherish the fact that they're out there because they give me, they give me life, they give me stuff to do, they give me peace actually too. Even my wife, whenever we see them, they're very peaceful. And it's time where I'm not ADHD, and as I'm watching them, I'm enjoying, I'm focusing
Mm,
specifically on them. And it's
right.
a very peaceful time, you know.
When you look at, I mean, Preston Dennett also with MUFON, and who's written obscene amounts of books, but positive.
Hmm. Right.
People's positive interactions. And
Yes,
I think like we need that because
we
there's
do.
so much conditioning. Like, we're just taught to fear what we
Right.
don't understand. You see something like that. Like I said, like for me, the biggest thing is um I had to get past what I felt was the intrusion. Because you're
Mhm.
supposed to feel safe in your home, in your bed, in
Right.
your right.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, bam, you look over and there's this gray standing there, and I'm like, nuh-uh. I go over. It's
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
not doing it, not doing it. No,
But here's the thing that well, of course, you know this, but here's the thing that people forget is that the spirits are here too. They're just hanging out
yes,
with us.
of course.
So it's not that much
Been
difference.
seeing those my whole life. No, but the spirits aren't taking you out of your house.
Well, no, they're
Or
not, but they could mess with you. They could mess with you, but they're not,
they
yeah, they're not
could.
taking, but they're not taking you away, right?
I
Now,
find it
granted,
Do you not find, as a paranormal investigator and a
right,
UFO investigator,
right.
do you not find, that people find it easier to believe in ghosts and demons than it is for them. They draw the line there. They don't want to, no, they would draw the line at aliens. Nope, I don't even, that's not even a
Yeah,
thing in my world, nor do
right.
I want it to be.
Mhm. Yes, I find that a lot. There is kind of a half and half,
Right.
world, and I deal with both, and that's why I do have objects and orbs. So my objects, of course, are the UFOs, and the orbs have to do with my paranormal side. That I could spend a whole nother hour talking, just doing a paranormal show.
But
But
people are funky about orbs because
they are.
there's so many things can be an orb: dust, pollen, pet dander,
Yep. Mhm.
moisture,
Sure.
condensation, exhaust. I mean, there's a lot of things. And it's hard because there's a lot of true orbs also. I mean, there are
Yes,
some
they are.
really amazing captures out there. It's
Yeah.
trying to get away from that stigma. So when you're looking at orbs, even like from an extraterrestrial standpoint or UFO standpoint,
Right.
there's still that, you know. But I wanted to make mention where you saw like the Chinese lantern sort
Yes.
of.
Yes.
I want to share this with you. So Wayne and I, who's in chat, we're driving down the road one night, and
Right.
we looked over to our left, and there was an orange type
Mm.
anomaly that looked like a floating lantern, and it was
Oh.
going across the road, and then all of a sudden it
Mhm.
stopped and went
Right.
completely gone, disappeared.
Yes.
I wanted
Wow.
to share that with you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. And especially when you said orange.
Well, we
Or
saw it with our eyes, like, 'cause we not
Mhm.
this wasn't a camera capture. Because
Yeah.
sometimes a camera lens being more sophisticated can capture
Right.
these amazing things, whereas a human eye, it's a little bit more difficult. We
Right.
saw this, it was like 8 o'clock at night, it was dark, we saw it, we're kinda like,
Yes.
so I
Yes.
wanted to share you, like, we saw it too, they're out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and orange is the new white. I mean,
Right,
or orange and red. You'll
right,
see a lot of red and white. Well, hey,
right.
I've really enjoyed talking to you. I got an air show I have to be on in the morning.
It's good, thank you. So tell everybody real quick how to
Yes,
find you, what you got coming up, and we'll
yes,
call it a
yes,
night.
yes. Thank you so much. So to get a hold of me, just go to objectsandorbs@gmail.com.
Mhm.
You can find my YouTube channel, Objects and Orbs. And you can also check out, I've got a lot of different playlists of different things set up, even as far as how to call them, how to do your own, how to set up your own UFO. So if you want to get on there, you can, because you can't get my movie, you can actually go on and how to catch UFOs as well. And then,
Right,
yeah, so
right.
yeah. Or
I
if
love
you're into country music, you can go to www.mountainCountryRadio.com, and I will be on the air tomorrow from 6
doing your
a.m.
real job,
Yes, that's right.
the mother
Um,
job.
yes, yes. So, yeah, Mountain Country Radio, 103.9, 94.3 FM, best in the tri-state. That's me.
Very nice. I love the radio voice.
All right. Appreciate it.
Well,
Yes.
thank you, Les. It was a
All right.
pleasure, and, I will be watching, look forward to seeing what else you have coming up.
Thank you so much. And if you ever want me back, I'll be back on for you too.
Love it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
later.
Alright, good night now.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was interesting. The show and tell was very interesting. I can definitely attest to the lantern thingy. I mean, I don't know how big that thing was, and wasn't close enough to the one that we saw to say 100% what it was, but the description looked about right. So very interesting. So big thank you to Les Durrant for the show and tell and teaching us, and listen to the archive and go back and maybe pick up on the programs that he mentioned that you can download for free and go out there and give it a whirl. You just never know. So big thank you to Folgers Coffee for sponsoring the show, to Dr. Snick, aka Justin Snicker, to Steve McGinnis. Um, you know, what can I say? It was an interesting show. I would have to go back and listen to the archive just to be able to watch it. So for our audio listeners, definitely maybe consider going to one of the video archives so you can actually see all of that. So tomorrow night, guys, we welcome for the very first time special guest Joshua Shapiro, and he's going to be discussing primarily crystal skulls, not just ancient crystal skulls, but what you can do with in modern day with crystal skulls. And I had a meeting with him today. Fascinating individual. I mean, you guys are going to love him. Very knowledgeable and a whole lot of fun. So thank you for tuning into the Outer Realm tonight. UFO Paranormal Radio United Public Radio Network, 105.3, 107.7 FM. We shall see you tomorrow night. Good night. Apparently not yet.